Hello, everybody. Welcome to my Zoom call. I have a very special guest with me this afternoon. Her name is Nathalie, and I would love for you to take it away and do a short intro. Where are you from, and how did all of this come to be?
Yes, absolutely. So technically, I live in Montreal, like physically. Um, I'm originally, and I'm gonna say why I mentioned this later. Like I'm half Mexican, half from Quebec. So I don't come from a background of eating healthy. It's like it's not like in my path, like to completely be healthy. It's something I learned. I got really sick 7 years ago. And That's when I started to, like, I have been always someone who went towards natural stuff, like natural remedies, but because we grew up with like a system, like I was like, like, let's give it, like, that was sometimes like, I don't know, maybe with the new generation will be different, they're born with essential oils. But but I feel like for us it was the only option for us. And in my case, I got really, really sick. Like I had a chronic disease that started like around 7 years ago, and I just couldn't work. I just couldn't work anywhere because I realized I was an empath, but no one in my life told me like you're an empath.
Mhm.
So I was really sensitive to the energies and the different work environments I was working. And uh and I started to be like really, really sick, like calling my mom, not being able to go out of the house, or if I was going, I was going in pain. I was just going to school in pain, going to school chronically fatigued. All
Wow.
that. So a short introduction. I'm now a consultant in naturopathy. I completely changed my career based on the fact that if I found solutions, I need to share those solutions with other people. And I didn't believe at 25 years old that I will be sick for the rest of my life, as they tell everybody who has this syndrome, which is fibromyalgia, which is a chronic, is like pain from head to toe, and chronic fatigue. The symptoms are different for everybody who has it. 80% is women of the people who have fibromyalgia. And that's something that for me was huge, because I realized, wow, like, why is it so, like, why isn't 50-50, like 80%? It's a lot, and
Yeah.
there's no age for it. Normally it starts around the 20s when you have it. So I was like, I did a lot of research about it, and so that's a little bit of a short way to say who I am, where I'm coming from. Yeah.
Wow, that's such a compelling, story. I mean, for a jump start, I mean, a person suffering from that ailment. I mean, it's so difficult, even as an early age to be diagnosed with that, and being never being told that you're an empath. And I mean, I know, like being like an introverted person, it's very difficult at times because thinking a lot from within, and even like the ailments of having that empath. Like I came from a very different background myself. I generally had like a basic, typical Canadian upbringing. Yeah, like I'm from Southern Ontario, Canada, and yeah, I mean, I had a pretty standard Canadian upbringing, playing hockey, sports, a lot of physical outdoor activities, camping, hiking, all the organized sports. But um, a lot of this wasn't told when you're growing up, how your nutrition plays a strong part in your overall well being. And I do strongly believe that once you actually heal your gut microbiome, you start to think a lot more clearly. Brain fog, starts lifting. You start to
Mhm.
feel a lot more different, like within yourself. like where I was before, like I said, I was on standard American diet. So basically like, having a meat-based protein all the time with all of my dinners within the evening and probably throughout the day, because I wasn't very cautious of my like activities of like my relationship with food and how I dealt with that through my teens into my 20s and then now into my early 30s. It wasn't until I actually woke up where I was just not very happy with how I was, treating myself. I had like an addictive personality. I was addicted to alcohol, nicotine, and even sometimes substances. And that like physical abuse on one person towards yourself, it takes a toll on you. And I do strongly believe that fun, like that kind of fun, has an expiry date, and it was kind of like a time for me to like take my health and my overall well-being into my own hands. And it wasn't until I found this incredible opportunity in which we call Purium, where I was able to overcome my challenges in life and become the person I am today, who I'm strongly, very powerfully like humbled for myself to get myself out of that I was digging a hole that I could not dig myself out of. But I kind of patted myself on the shoulder, and I went into this wholeheartedly, and it benefited for me 1,000 times. I'm truly blessed to be where I am today.
And I'm so proud of you, Dan, because honestly, like I know you've been sober for like a year and more, something like that.
A year and 10 months.
And you switch pretty fast, Okay, and that's when my background comes. Okay, like I'm Mexican. Mexicans have tacos with meat all the time. It's just like and I'm not saying we only eat tacos, but most of our meals are made of meat. And also like I had this like this meeting with a friend who was Latino, and it's like if you're from a Latino community, people think you're a beer drinker, you're a tequila drinker, mostly from Mexico, like, and it's kind of hard for people to not socialize without including that, and for me it was really hard because I was a dancer, I was going to school, I was teaching dance, I was going out, I like to dance like just for fun, just to go out dance. And it was just like, oh, let's take something to drink, and when I started to be sick, and it's how important this is like people think they're not sick, but at the end of the day you're accumulating the toxins in your body, in your gut, and your cells are surrounded like by those toxins at different levels, because there's different types of toxins, and heavy metals, and we can talk about toxins all day. And for me, it was really hard to like actually realize it was toxins. And I already started, before I started with these superfoods and with these medicinal plants, which high quality is the highest quality I have found, because I have tried a lot of things in many years. Because as soon as I got sick, I decided I'm gonna, like take care of myself. But it took time, to switch. I didn't realize alcohol was giving me pain. I didn't realize, like it was really painful. And what's funny is that 2012, in Montreal, we did the big walks about, the education system was too expensive and all that. And that's when it started. But it took me years to heal and to realize, oh, that's when it started. It started with like reflux in my stomach, and then back pain. And then from back pain, I went to a burnout. And after the burnout, weird symptoms started, but it wasn't fibromyalgia yet, but it wasn't. It was like flare-ups,
Oh my goodness.
And it took me 2 years, but I started researching, and all that. And like I was going out with some friends, and then I started realizing, I started stopped gluten, then lactose. I started seeing change, but I didn't realize there's like pesticides, like even if I tried to eat as organic as I could, that's when I started to have the awareness of it. We weren't there yet as we are right now. Right now, we're more aware of that, and organic is way more like available also in the stores, and it's labeled too, so, but at that time, like, and that's not that far, it's like 5 years ago, and it took me 2 years to be diagnosed, because in Canada, you can't be diagnosed. It's like Purium elimination, which compared to the States, you can get a blood test. It costs money, like
Yeah.
$400. Now, I think now it's less, because through time, it's becoming like a test that is more and more in demand. But so here you couldn't. So like we tried with my doctor to see what it, so through all those 2 years, I was suffering, not knowing exactly what I was having. And at 25 years old, I had to quit dance, I had to, and through my burnout, I was sleeping all the time. Then I got depressed for 2 years, like, and I'm like, what's going on with me, And when I was drinking one, like even like in the last 2 years, because I like to do tests. Like I had a zip of wine, it doesn't vibrate with me anymore, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm at another level with the food I'm taking, with the superfoods cleansing my body. But it's crazy how much time it takes us, and so much money we spend on alcohol that should be spent somewhere else, should be spent on your health. Like I read an article a couple months ago, like a blog, Montreal blog, on one of the writers. She's like, I spent $400 a month on alcohol, like
That
going
was
out to
me.
bottles, and I was like, oh my God, like that's insane. $400. That's a ULT, like that's a ULT.
Yeah, I
That's
know.
like, that's superfoods and medicinal plants for a month, And I'm like, how people, like for me, it's far away, it's like, I don't even drink anything anymore. So that's something, and that's the liver, and through my studies in naturopathy, now I see how important it is to eat healthy. Like I have been always a foodie, like I always liked food. I always try to add as much veggies in my food and fruits, but now I'm way more aware, and I can see the difference, like when I don't do my detox, sometimes I just go away, and then, and like I did the test, just for fun, to prove to people how it works when you have toxins, like cheese, just for example, cheese. If I have too much cheese, like 2-3 days in a row, I'm going to start to have the pain of fibromyalgia again. So it proves that when you're eating healthy, it's, your energy is changing, like for me, it was like depression and fibromyalgia that I had at the same time before I started Purium. And I tried so many things for fibromyalgia. Like I tried medicinal cannabis, like I tried cleansing, I tried 3 days of eating only broth, like, and it didn't work. Like nothing really worked until I cleaned my gut, until I cleaned my blood with the cleanser, until I completely, because what this do is that it takes out the garbage, but at the same time, it regenerates your cells. So it's like a multi-level process of taking out, and it's like a lot. Like people don't realize, 2 to 10 kilos we can have of toxins, accumulated. Like if you put 2 kilos, like it's a lot, it's huge. And so sometimes people like I can't lose weight even if I'm being careful, because your body's full of stuff that it can't recognize, it's unable to like use it. So it's storing at different places in your body. So all that to say that alcohol is something, but also like on my side, I know that I'm addicted to chocolate. So that's the only thing that it took me so many years. Like, you know, when I was young, like, you know, you do Halloween and all that stuff, and you don't realize like how chocolate is full of toxins,
Sugar.
you know, like sugar. It has dairies, and you have a list of things you don't know exactly what it is, you know, and the ingredients. And that's another thing, like reading labels, you know. And if you're gonna buy something that has a label, like if it has more than 5 ingredients, you have to wake up, you know. And all I'd say, like, I'm less obsessed than when I started, because I have a young child, and right now he's in a phase he doesn't want to like, and I'm a single mom. So last year I was like doing 2 meals, and he was eating everything I was doing. And now he's like in the phase in his life where he's like, I don't want to eat anything my mom cooks. So I have to be more flexible on that. But on my lunchtime, like this, I try to always have like 60 to 70% of veggies, you know. I give him a bowl of fruits as soon as he wakes up. And so it's all about habits, you know. It's really about all about habits. And I noticed like my life switched only after a week of starting the superfoods. I even called Kiev, you know, who's in our community, because she's the one who suggested me to try this for the insomnia, the postpartum depression. And I call her and I'm like, what are you giving me? You know, you know, because I am an analytical person. I went on the website. I didn't even try the 30 days because I didn't know how that was working. I was just like looking at the different ingredients, and I'm like, oh, automatically, I don't know, vibrationally, I went for the biomimetic. Like, I'm gonna cleanse my gut. That makes sense, you know. I went for a green, like more greens, you know, that's like way more intense, that it has way more like plants to give you energy. And I went for hormonal. I wanted to like balance my hormones. I was really aware of that. So I went for the woman's defense. And I was impressed. Like, I have tried so many things after so many years that cost you a lot of money. You go to this naturopathy store. It's like $50 for omega-3s, you know, like it's so expensive and it's not effective. You know, that's the thing. It's like you're spending money, but that it's not effective. And this time I was like, yeah, I'm gonna give it a try. In a week, I was from in my bed, depressed, crying, screaming at everybody, to running, jogging 3 times per week, you know, and being
Wow.
happy and being like, woo, what's going on? Like, for a moment, I'm like, this is not possible, you know, like
Yeah.
I felt like this was not possible. But at the end of the day, it is, because I was nourishing myself properly. And that's just part of the process. And that's when I realized, you know, wow, like, you know, we have been lied for so long about food, and like how important it is for the food to be fresh, to be organic, how habits, you know, like, you know, when you have energy, you want to do exercise. When you don't have
Yeah.
energy, you don't want to do exercise, you know. When you don't sleep well, you want to overeat, because that's how your body is going to be able to like preserve its energy. So it's all like a cycle, like that you're reproducing patterns, and you have the choice and the opportunity to just say, I'm going to stop that toxic cycle and do the reverse, you know. And it takes time, but if you have the right tools, the ones that we're proposing, it's way easy. It's like super easy.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. You don't know until you actually know. You know, healing your gut microbiome is like where it all begins, you know, the pineal gland. So like your gut brain is interconnected. And yeah, I mean, there's so many things like that I have, you know, partaked in, and that would be the ultimate lifestyle transformation. And I also have done the Plus Performance back in February of this year, and having those profound results from these ultimate transformations. I'm actually on day 29 of another one. So I finish at the end of the month tomorrow and going strong. I never felt even better in my life. I tend to do these ULTs at least 3 times a year. And that's like we were saying, like it has the parasite cleanse, which I actually do the accelerated version of the ULT, where
Wow.
yeah, at
You're
day
crazy.
11 that I start doing the cleanser. Yeah, I love the accelerated version. It's my favorite one to do, and I do it every time. With the Plus Performance, I had to do a little bit of tinkering because at the beginning we didn't have a lifestyle guide, but now we actually have that full placemat. And yeah, I absolutely love the Can't Beat This, the Super Xanthan.
Mm,
I love all of the products. Like they speak for themselves, because I mean, when I was like, I was brought up on the standard American diet. I was never plant-based vegan up until about when I started my sobriety, and that was 1 year and almost just shy of 2 years now that I will be completely plant-based vegan. But
mm,
I mean, I'm truly blessed and proud to be where I am today, because I know that I was feeling lethargic, lazy, really groggy all the time, and I didn't know
mm,
why I was feeling this way. I thought a lot of it did have to do with the alcohol, but not only that, inflammation around my face, my skin complexion, my overall drive and well-being. I wasn't a very happy person. I
mm,
was dealing with a lot of childhood traumas, depression, anxiety. And it wasn't until I did my first ultimate lifestyle where I completely changed 360. I changed my entire life around. And coming from a man that was dealing with a lot of addiction issues, the community was a strong part in why I joined as a brand partner with Purium, because I loved the mission that in which they stand for, is to end human suffering, and everything from non-GMO, organic, USDA approved, even to home compostable, and also shelf stable for up to 2 years. So it's not exactly a perishable. It's a non-perishable, like you could keep in
mm.
your cupboards for years. But I tend to get rid of these Power Shake Terra pouches quicker than you can imagine. So I absolutely love the Power Shake. It doesn't stay on the shelf for that long.
Yeah, it's the one that goes fast for me too. I have a lot of products because I, depending on my mood, sometimes I try to switch things, but Power Shake's the one that's always gone fast. And it's not like people ask me, oh, but is it another juice? And like I'm like, you never tried this one, like I have tried so many juices, powders, not powders. I used to do my juices. I have a kid. It's impossible I do my juices. Okay. It's like I have no time. First, I don't want to buy everything to do the juices. I want to use it as my food. Second, you're never gonna have all the plants together at the same price, and that's what people think sometimes. Oh, and the like most of the things that we're gonna hear, it's a lot of money. And you're like, yeah, but you don't need to have breakfast, so you save money on your breakfast. And to be honest with you, I have always been someone who's aware of my money, and from someone who was sick from head to toe, I can tell you that investing in my health, and I was a student when I started being sick, I was working part-time, but I've always been aware of, if I invest in my health long term, it's the best investment you can do. Like I was paying massages every month,
Hmm.
or still get massages till this day, but it's not because of the pain, it's just because I know it's good to just, put things together after a period, when I have my menstruations, and I'm really like, I don't care to talk about it, like,
Hmm.
yes, I like to have a massage, to have oil all over me, but it's not a necessity anymore. I used to need it. Like if I could pay myself like a massage every week, I could do that at that time. But now I'm like, if I'm eating well, it's not a necessity, And I know it's hard for people seeing me as a young person, Like, how could she be sick? Like, and I'm not sick anymore at all, you know? And the pain that you can have, it's not only food, but if you eat the right food and you detoxify, your energy is gonna align and healing is way easier. That's what I felt and what I loved about this 30 days experiences, because it's my fifth that I'm gonna do this, because I like to do twice. Okay, I like to do the spring, I like to do the fall, and in the middle I mix different things, you know. I do the fitness in the summer. I like to buy the immunity pack in the winter. Really, per season, I adapt my products, and I just realized how fast and easy it is to process emotions when your your energy is flowing properly. It's just next level. Like, I went through so much in the last 3 years, and everybody's like, how are you doing? How are you doing to have a business? How are you making it happen to have a kid? How are you making it happen? You know, everybody, like almost no exceptions, ask me, how you doing? And I'm like, honestly, I think the only way I can do it is with my superfoods. It's the only way I can do it, because otherwise I will have to cook breakfast for me. And my son is not, he doesn't eat one breakfast. My son, he's a eater all day. You know, he eats
Mm-hmm.
here, he's there mostly in the morning. I tried in the lunchtime and evening, he eats, you know, this is your meal, you know. But in the morning, he's a picker. He likes to have like something, then 15 minutes, something else. So if I have to cook like breakfast for me, it's the 20 minutes I have to spend on yoga instead of being cooking something for myself. So I'm really happy to have my green juice. And I know it energetically, it nourishes me properly. And I used to be, and that's something that's really important. When I was doing exercise, when I had fibromyalgia, I was unable to move out of my bed for 3 days. Like, I was
Wow.
doing it anyways. I was going to school anyways. I was working if I had to, but I was in pain for 3 days because of the acidity that like exercise was creating in my body. And now with like the MVP sports, you know, I love it. I tried the whole routine this summer, like really doing everything in order, you know, the can be this with the super aminos, then taking the cocoa hydrates, presenting and MVP sports after. I did like 6 hours of biking and exercise in 2 days. And the third
Wow.
day, nothing. I could function normally. And I'm like, what is in this? and I'm surprised, you know, after 2 years of taking the superfoods, I'm still surprised. And that's what I love about this, is that on all levels, it goes with my values, you know, of ecology, of nourishing myself properly, taking care of myself, and also helping others taking care of themselves, you know. And so at the end of the day, if you're spending $200 to $500 on things that are like not healthy for you in a month, like you can transfer that and give yourself the opportunity to try this for 30 days and say, okay, I'm just going to give myself a try to try for 30 days to be as healthy as I can. And trust me, it's going to change your life. It's a life changer. It transformed everything in my life. Like, I couldn't be where I am right now without my superfoods in the community. Like, I'm a single mom. I don't see people in evenings, you know. I don't see people. It's been 3 years. Like, I don't see people in evenings. I think I went to the restaurant once with my boyfriend, and I didn't remember the last time I went to eat inside a restaurant, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
same here.
so having a community for me is like, I feel like I'm never completely alone, you know, even if I have my reality, I still can reach out to the community. I can be on coaching calls online without having to say, no, I can't go because I'm at home, you know? So it's a huge life changer on all levels.
Yeah, 100%. I couldn't agree more. I mean, like what I did was I went into this wholeheartedly, and like I said yes to such an incredible opportunity, because there was no strings attached, no gimmicks, no nothing. It's a 30-day ultimate lifestyle transformation where there's a 60-day money back guarantee, where if you don't like it after the 30 days that you tried the products, return it, and like we'll give you your money back. There's no strings attached there. And I mean, if you are watching this replay of this Zoom call, like one of us truly care about you, and we would love to share this gift of health, because it's completely changed both of our lives, from Nathalie's ailments, and with her fibromyalgia and my alcohol and my food addictions. We were able to come out on top. And now that our cups are filled, we can pour into other people's cups to help them not only just survive, but we want people thriving, is why we're part of this incredible mission in which we call Purium, which is pure and premium mixed together. And it makes this incredible community.
Live your best life,
I mean, don't be a discount version of yourself. And it all comes down to habits. It really does. Like you were saying, it all definitely comes down to how like you're valuing your money and what you spend your money on a monthly basis. I know, like I have expenses as well, car insurance, groceries, in which you should be buying all organic. And, you have cable bills, hydro bills, things of that nature. But what are you spending are you going to the drive-through? Are you spending a lot of money on gas to get to and from your job? We have a business opportunity in which we offer through Purium as well, where you would actually be saving money by spending more time with your family and staying at home and not spending money on gas in commute. Like you're commuting to your job for 2.5 hours each day, and then you're miserable by the time you get home. We have solutions. So if you're actually looking to find an extra source of income, this would also benefit you, where you can be paid handsomely off of your first month of enrollment, where you can earn up to $3,500 within your first month of enrollment. And if you're willing, if you're honest, humble, and hungry, and ready to start running with us, we would be happy to get you guys started on this incredible journey with us.
Yeah. Thank you, Dan. Yes, I think at the beginning, I wasn't understanding the whole side of the financial freedom, And I probably didn't need it at the time. I was at my parents' place. But now, this month, I was so happy because of my business, of this Purium business. It's the first time, I think, in a year and a half. Because when I was out with my parents, while my kid was young, which was temporary, while the lockdown was there. Like I didn't realize about it. So I was just doing this because I want to help people. But in the last year and a half, like I have been spending a lot of money on my other business, and I was dealing with a lot of trauma. And my business was the thing that was helping me stay focused, and consistent as much as I could. And it's the first time, in my life that on the 15th of the month, because I looked at my back office and I had this extra income that I was like, I don't have to think about how I'm going to pay things for the rest of the life. Yes. And as a single mom, I was crying in front of my screen because I don't remember when it was the last time in my life when in the middle of the month, I was like, everything extra I'm going to make, it's going to be an extra, It's like, this is life-changing for real. Like, this is not a bubble. We're just telling you this is an opportunity. And Purium is the only company, because I have a lot of friends who are working with different products. And it's the only company I know that has so much to give to their community, you know, like it's huge. Like I wasn't expecting it that way, you know. And it's also about leaving your blockages, you know, one at a time, and all your fears, and realizing, you know, I deserve the best life. I deserve to eat properly. I deserve to feel good. I deserve to be healthy. You know, I deserve to be part of a group of people who are amazing, you know, are kind. Everybody is heart open. We have our hands on our heart. And it's, for me as an empath, it allowed me to be myself, you know.
Yeah.
And last year was kind of, I tried everything I could do in my business and in this business, and I don't have to do so much work now because I just retake what I did, you know, and I just give it back to people. I refresh it, I bring in more information, and I refresh it. And so, how to say, like, this business is not that hard. I was trying hard because I thought, as in the Matrix, you have to do it all alone. And then when I started realizing, like, I don't have to do much, you know, I just have to translate to French. That's the only thing I have to do. Then I started, that's when I realized, oh my God, it's easier than I think, you know. And yeah, you have never, nobody can found something that is that easy with so much support. And the quality, that, let's just focus for a second before we wrap up, because I think we can talk about all these subjects all day, is the quality of products Purium is offering. As someone who's going to become a naturopath in 2 months, you know, I'm telling you, I have never seen that. Like, I have tried so many things. Like, even in the last job I got, like, my boss hanged me a green juice, a powder of green juice that's supposed to taste like berries. I don't know where the berries were. You know? I don't know where they were, because it tastes like, okay, if you have taken weed or plants that are dried, it tasted like an old plant that was dried for years and nobody really took care of it, you know? And I'm like, my green juice tastes like apple and cherry, you know? I'm really happy and proud of it. And so the quality is amazing. It's something you're not gonna find anywhere else. And you're not gonna find something that detoxifies the pesticides in 6 weeks, you know? Well,
Yeah.
not all of it, 75% of it. It doesn't exist. I've tried, I've researched, I've like looked everywhere, like, and I am a naturopath in Ayurveda almost, and now I'm just consultant. And Purium offers plants that are actually suggested by Ayurveda. So it's why I'm gonna send my people buy these 7 plants in the cleanser at different places and get it in, we don't know how many months, because when it comes from India, it can take a lot of time. They can get it in 10 days. We're good. After 10 days of doing your cleanser, like, so let's do a 20 days process instead of a 2 years process, or 6 to 2 years. So it's an accelerator, as you mentioned earlier. It's an accelerated process. So give yourself that opportunity of self-love, you know.
Amazing. Couldn't have said it any better myself. I just want to close with, I just love and appreciate you so much, Nathalie. And I know how, like, I can just, I just love your authenticity and everything that you bring to the table. And being a single mother, doing this, well, you have the strength and power of this community, but doing a lot of that on your own. I just want to say that I'm just truly proud and to be part of this organization, this collective in which we call Purium and the Kind Human Tribe. Like I said, like, don't be a discount version of yourself, because the quality of food that you eat is equal to the quality of life that you live. So if you're watching this recording, don't hesitate to reach out to one of us, because we have actually these gift card referral codes where you can save up to $100 off of your first ultimate lifestyle transformation, which we talked a little bit about on our Zoom this afternoon. So if you like what you hear, don't delay, start today. It's all up to you in 2022.
2022, it's the year for you. No, I'm joking, but it's because it's my 33rd year anniversary, so I feel like it's really special. Thank you, Dan, for your time. Thank you for inviting me. And yeah, reach out. Is the first step, to just reach out, and we'll do our best to show you what's available and what we can do for you. Thank you, Dan.
Thank you for your time today.
Thank you. Bye.